Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to this video where today I am going to be sharing some of my ideas for my roller coaster recreations. So this has been something that a lot of people have asked me for, and I've put together some of the ideas that I do have of each of my recreations. Some of them will be there, some of them will unfortunately be not, but anyways, let's go into number one. Okay lads, before we get into the video, let's see how many of you are subscribed. So, number one, we're going to start off with many people's favourites, which is my vampire recreation. So, I built this round about December of 2021, I want to say. This was when I hit 1,000 subscribers, so it's relatively old. But as you can see, everything is pretty accurate. And so is the track. The track is surprisingly good, and this was the build that made me fall in love with suspended swinging coasters. Everything is pretty accurate with this, and as I said, a lot of people actually really like this, and honestly so do I. It's massive, don't get me wrong, it's a massive build, as you can just see all of this here, but if you do the right scenery with this, it shouldn't be a problem. What is that? You can tell this is very old. I would have picked up on this and it would have been gone. Never mind, but it's still glitching. Anyways lads, here is the code for the roller coaster. Of course, as you can tell, it's a suspended swinging coaster, but I'll put all the details up on the screen for you right now. Let's move on to the second recreation. Okay then everyone, the second recreation is one again which is very popular with majority of you. It is my most viewed recreation onto this channel. Here's Colossus. So you might remember this in the last ID video that I did release the code for it, but I figured since it's a recreation, I'm going to release it again. This is even older than Vampire, I will admit that now. Most of these recreations on this list are fairly old, so this was built almost 3 years ago now. That's mental. Of course, with the idea of this one, it is just the vertical launch roller coaster. As you can see, there is a multi-launch overlay, which is unfortunately not included. But you'd be able to do that yourselves, I think. That should be fine. Bearing in mind, when you go on it, though, it is the old one. So I'm guessing you would all want the new model anyway. So, I guess it's a good thing I didn't put it there. But this roller coaster is relatively smooth. I said this all in the last video, but there is just like one bit of it, like at the very end, which is not good. I will warn you now. Yeah, there it is. That bit. Like, what the hell is that? Ask me 3 years ago. Ask me today, I would know. I'd have no idea. So, anyways, I've put the code on the screen for you right now. As I said, all the details are going to be there, including how much it costs, the ID itself, because that'd be pretty important, I'd say, and also the roller coaster type. Anyways, let's go on to recreation number 3. This is a recreation that many of you have been asking for, despite it being the older model. But here is the Swarm. So I will say this now, this is arguably the worst recreation that I have ever done in my entire life. I did let myself down on this one and all of you made it very vocal in doing so. But it is the older model as well. I don't think if I used the newer model it would have been any better. But yeah, it's just not great. Track itself is actually quite alright, but just everything else around it is just horrible. But it's something that many of you have been asking for, so I just figured why not put it in the list. But yeah, I just don't like this myself. I really don't. I built this, it's not even like as old as Colossus. I built this like October of 2021. So yeah, it's relatively old today. But back then, it was still just as horrible as it is now. I can assure you that. Anyways, here is the code. And if you did want to use this for whatever reason, by all means, put it in your park to use it, to laugh at it. By all means, here's the details, I guess. With that done, let's go over to number 4. Okay, if I did not put this one in, there would probably be riots. Okay, I'm going to say that now. There'd be riots. Anyways, lads, here is the flying fish. So this is a roller coaster which I built as a joke, but it's still relatively okay. And by all means, all of you can use it. It's a Mac powered coaster, but I use a vertical launch because I just figured that'd be A, easier for the track, and B, easier for the ride. But if any of you want the flying fish, maybe like a little filler coaster, then you got it right. I can't look at this seriously. Anyways, it's on the screen right now. The details are there. If any of you did want this ride, vertical launch coaster, ride IDs there as well, followed by how much it costs. I don't think it would be that much, to be fair. I don't remember myself, but I don't think it's that much. But that's a flying fish for you, lads. Last but not least, it is a recreation which I didn't build, first of all. If any of you remember the Taran showcase that I did on my channel, then you'll be very familiar with this. So number 5 is Taran, built by Coaster Engineer. I will link his channel into the description. But he has very kindly released his Taran ID for everyone to use. And this is the exact same roller coaster which I actually did a showcase on. And of course it just had much more scenery, but this is just a basic ride. But it is just an absolutely incredible ride. And for those who want to do a Taran recreation, now you've got somewhere good to start, I guess. But it is just very accurate. The roller coaster is very, very smooth, and it is just absolutely incredible. I don't showcase roller coasters on my channel much, but when I do, they're gonna be good. Anyways, lads, on the screen now is the ID and all the details that you need to use this ride. By all means, use it. It's brilliant. I can assure you that. Theme it around Taran. I want to see all of your Taran showcases and builds. That'd be really, really cool. Anyway, lads, that's going to wrap up this video. If you did enjoy this video and if you used any of the builds mentioned, please make sure that you do leave a like. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be really, really kind of you. But that'll be it, and I will love you and leave you. And until the next video. Bye, everyone.